South Florida at Pitt. This is a Wednesday game. Marco, we're doing something a little different here. Is typically you're giving free picks out, projections. You're known as Mr. Pittsburgh, and you've got an amazing record. Give us the highlights on that real quick.
19-7.
19-7, and you're well over, what, 60% for like multiple years on Pitt. So that's Pitt, that's Duquesne, that's the Steelers, that's Pitt College and Pro, and the Pirates.
Yeah, we try to stay away from the Pirates.
Well, you can win a lot of fade in the Pirates. You're not going to give a pick on this game. You're going to explain some insight into this Pitt team that's getting a lot of attention right now, and you're also going to be explaining a handicapping concept.
Yeah, we're going to call this the public service warning portion of the videos this week. And, sometimes, it's just as good not to play a game than to play a game and lose. If you save yourself a winner by just
it's better.
It's
because you're saving 110 instead of 100.
There you go. Pitt right now, I can tell you, this is a legitimate #1 seed for the NCAA tournament. I really feel that this is the best Pitt team in the Jamie Dixon era, and we've had some good Pitt teams. They showed me a lot this past week, and I'll admit, Mr. Pittsburgh was actually wrong on a Pittsburgh game, but you learn from mistakes. The Pitt team, there's a chemistry with this team because what they did Saturday night at Villanova was a horrible spot for Pitt. They were without their leading scorer for the second game. You know my theory about the injured player. You back them in the first game, which the first game happened to be on Monday night last week against West Virginia, their arch rival, the backyard brawl. So a highly motivated game for Pitt. On the road, without their star, they beat their arch rival. Then they go the second game against Villanova. I thought it was an outstanding situation for Pitt to be flat. You had Villanova, a rare Saturday night game. Villanova generally doesn't play a 9 o'clock game on a Saturday. So you had a, rambunctious crowd, loud, everything all lined up for a Villanova win. Pitt went in there, played tremendous defense, totally shut down this Villanova team and held them into the 50s, won on the road. So, and I even put a post up after that game that, Mr. Pittsburgh was wrong. This team's better than I thought. But I'm just going to give a warning to this game on Wednesday night. This is an absolute flat spot. Their star player, Ashton Gibbs, could possibly be back Wednesday. This is going to be a game-time decision. Really, I think they're going to hold him till Saturday, until they go to New York and play at St. John's, because they can sleepwalk through their opponent Wednesday night. You're laying a premium here because right now everybody saw that game Saturday night at Villanova. The stock on Pitt is high. All of the pundits now are jumping on the bandwagon about Pitt.
All right, so you're making a case. The case you're making in the game handicap is to fade Pitt.
Right.
So what's causing you not to fade Pitt?
The South Florida team is a bad ball club, okay? But you're laying a number here with Pitt that's awfully inflated. 18.5 is the number. I thought the line would be 15, maybe 16, but again, I don't know the situation for sure on Gibbs. So that's a big factor. This number tells me that Vegas thinks Gibbs is going to be back. He may play in a limited role or not at all. This is a situation that when you get to this time of the season, teams like South Florida that are in a conference, the season's basically done for them. The only shot they have of anything would be if they would run the table in the conference tournament, which isn't going to happen. And in these bigger conferences, some of the bottom teams don't even make the tournament. So you got to really question
motivation issues with South Florida. And then you're saying an overvalue or excuse me, I'm fighting a sneeze, a premium on Pitt, which makes you not want to play them, but you also think it's a flat spot because of why?
Because when you just pulled off what you did without your star, you played your rival, and then you go on the road to a very tough place to win.
And now you're laying almost 20 points.
You just think you got to show up and you're going to win. It's human nature. And as far as Jamie Dixon goes, the next game up, they go to New York to play St. John's. New York, every time, a little insight to Pitt. Jamie Dixon's very close with his family. He lost his sister a couple of years ago to an illness and that. She was a college basketball coach. And his family always came to the New York games. He's got that connection there in New York. So it's also a look ahead for him. You know, it's a bigger game coming this weekend in St. John. So it's just a bad spot. I can't justify taking South Florida because they are that bad, but really, Pitt could sleepwalk through this game, and the last thing you want to do is be laying 18.5 points, be up 20, and Jamie Dixon empties the bench, and you get that backdoor cover.
The good analysis. I think this makes the point that 90% of games have a line that's between 47.5% and 52.5%. That whatever side you take, it's not going to overcome the juice. And 10% is a wild guess, but most lines are right. And the fact that you're giving some insight into Pitt and explaining why this might be a spot that the squarest of the square looks to play Pitt, you actually think the line's off by a couple of points. But a couple of points is, if you're right about South Florida not being motivated, a couple of points is meaningless, thus it's a pass.
Yes.
All right. It's your turn to continue the conversation in the comment section with Marco and me. And next up, we're going to be breaking down a Thursday NBA game.